Yeah, how did it just feel for you? Be back out for the first time in a little more than a month.
Awful. Nah, I feel great, man. Obviously, first game, going up and down the NBA live game. It was great to, just be around practice starting off and, obviously come out in the game. And obviously we was awful, from a whole. But, me as an individual, my body start, trying to figure it out as the game was going. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, there's just been so many bodies out for you guys. How does this team get on track offensively and get towards where you want to be?
I mean, see, that's the thing right there. We talk about offense, but it's competing, from me on down, everybody, the coaches, execution, starting to practice to the games. Us going out there that got to compete. We got to compete. We got embarrassed. They was able to do whatever they want. Us players, starting with myself, we didn't execute nothing. We just got embarrassed. That's really it. And it came down to competing. And we have to have a different approach, starting with the game plans and executing them in practice, then executing them in the games. We can't really sit here and be like, oh, this guy's in, this guy's out. I know Willie's got it hard for as the starting lineups. I think it's like been 15 or something. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't be an excuse for us players to, have an identity of competing each and every night.
What was Willie's message like after the game, and how was it kind of received by the team?
I mean, really what I just said. I mean, it shouldn't take him to come say a message. I mean, if you don't feel embarrassed as an individual, then that's a problem. But I keep everything in the locker room. It's the locker room. So, our coach came in. Obviously, there's nothing to smile about or be happy about, and that's that.
And when you, like you said, you come back after being out for a while, trying to find your rhythm and the shots on falling early, what are you trying to do at that point just to kind of make your impact felt in the game?
I mean, I kept trying to, use my voice, just compete. They were letting them use their hands, be physical. They're a physical team. I know since I've been in the league, Toronto, no matter what coach is there, they always, try to be physical, had players to be physical, especially with this young group that they have. If they're allowing them to be physical, then, you got to put the pressure on the referees to, make them call fair game. So you got to be physical as well. So, if you notice, I was trying to be physical. Obviously they called some fouls. I don't think it was fouls, but it's the NBA. It's all good. But, we just gotta compete. You can't get punked. You can't get pushed around. And it showed. They did that, and they knew, like, okay, we could do whatever we want with these guys. So they came in our building and embarrassed us.
You talked a lot since you come here about, wanting to establish yourself as a leader, seeing yourself in that light, seeing where the team is now, kind of the hole y'all are in, what are the responsibilities of the leaders to kind of get the team back on track mentally and prevent it from feeling like, there's no coming back from this?
I mean, like I said in the beginning, it's how you approach things, just from a professional standpoint and then to a basketball standpoint. Obviously, this is what we get paid to do, so being on time, being early, executing, taking care of your body, what I'm saying? All that stuff matters, working on your game. And then we come together, as a collective unit, like I said, the approach, building the identity, and it's tough. Like I said, when you got guys in, guys out, guys in, guys out, it's really tough. But I think it's not tough to compete, I'm going to continue to say that, start with myself. We got to compete. We got to execute, and that's that. So, from a leader standpoint, I just let who I am naturally be, and that's just coming in, being early, taking care of my body. Even with the rehab stuff, I was there every day. Even when I was gone away from the team, I was taking care of my business so I can come back and do what I love to do, and it starts with all that, So that's that as a leader standpoint.
And like you mentioned, there's so many moving pieces. It's tough to kind of develop that chemistry and learn how to play off of each other. But what are you seeing on the offensive end, and why it's kind of been so difficult the past few games, just finding a rhythm offensively?
I mean, I think it's been tough from even me just watching. Like I said, identity. We got to have an identity of who we are, who we want to be. And I think, like I said, this team have potential to be a really good defensive team. I mean, they've been that, in the past. So, I feel like we still have the potential to be that with the guys we got. And I think that just had to be your mentality, man. You got to come in and, want to guard, as an individual, the little stuff when it comes to team defense. And then offensively, like playing together, have that identity. Where are you going to get your shots, these spots, understanding the offense. Like, it's just a lot that goes into it, but there's no excuses. We pros, we get paid to do this, so you got to do this, or you're going to get embarrassed like you did tonight.
Does this feel like a night where you have to draw a line in the sand when you lose to a team that had not won on the road this year, that also has been struggling, and you do this at home and folks leave the arena, they're booing? Does this feel like for everybody, this is where you look guys in the eye? Because I think, from a distance, it could look like Dejounte's up here smiling.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see that there's an intensity behind it, like you're smiling because you don't want to, how do you draw that line as a professional? Because you've been in winning situations. You've been in losing situations. How do you not let this continue to be a losing situation?
I mean, it's the NBA, so you don't really focus on, this team lost this many games, won this many games. Like, anybody could win on any given night in the NBA. As you see, like, I don't think you're going to lose games, but it's how you lose games. And we didn't compete. We didn't execute from offense, defense. The game plans was horrible, and that's on us. That's not on nobody else besides the guys that lace them up and go out and play. So, I mean, yeah, you as an individual, like I said in the beginning, if you're not embarrassed or really mad about this, like, that's a problem. And that's pretty much what I could say about that, but it's the NBA. You got Thanksgiving tomorrow. I know somebody like me, it's going to be on my head tomorrow, because it's not really about the loss. It's how we lost in front of our fans, like, even the fans booing. I mean, what would you do if you was a fan paying your money? You want to come watch a competitive basketball game, especially from your home team. So they got all the rights to say what they want, feel how they feel. They deserve a better game. And just us as individuals, we get paid to play, at a high level.
What is the next step? Let's say, you don't want to look and say, well, there's 60-plus games left in the season. You can't win all 60 right now. But where do you start laying some benchmarks and say, we need to be here as how we play, but also with our record if we want to make this a real season? How do y'all have all of those things going on at the same time to get going in the right direction?
I mean, you gotta be healthy. If you go look at all the winning teams that go far, they're healthy. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. So whatever you got to do to get healthy, don't rush whatever it is. And that's for anybody. You handle your business each and every day. It's going to be irritating because rehab does the same things every day, consistently. So, handle your business. And then for us, like I said, like you're gonna win games, you're gonna lose games, but you can compete. Like tonight, tonight was just, it was disgusting. So it's like, I don't pretty much know what to tell you. Like, we got to compete. We got to play harder, and that's just that, no matter who's on the floor.
You mentioned it was disgusting. I mean, do you think it was, obviously it's only your second game, but being around the team all year, do you think this was kind of, rock bottom for you and the guys so far, and how much of a wake-up call do you expect tonight to be for this team?
I mean, I love adversity as an individual. Tough times, that's where I come from. So it builds character. It builds who you are. You're going to thrive in it or you're going to shy away from it. So, it's either way. And adversity is good. Moral of the story, adversity is good. So like I said, where you go from here, you should be really upset about this. And going forward, like, I think everybody comes in to win. I don't think nobody comes in every day, I want to get hurt or I don't want to play games. So it's like execution, compete at a high level, play together, and have fun. You're in the NBA, and that's just that.
Dejounte, as one of the leaders of this team, what does accountability look like from your perspective? Like, what are you going to do between now and when the next game tips off?
I mean, now, obviously, I'm going to go home with my family, but, because it's about your family. You go home, people go back to their families, and, tomorrow you got Thanksgiving. But as soon as we get on that plane, you got to lock in to understanding what just happened, because this just don't go away. You don't want bad habits to carry over and over. So like I said, whatever coach's plan is, going forward when we get on the plane to go to Memphis, be ready to compete, execute. And this should be something on your mind. I know it's the NBA and you move on, but like this game was embarrassing and you don't want these bad habits to continue to carry over.
Thank you.
Yep. See y'all later. You too.